Hey YouTube, this is Draak. I'm one of the world builders for the online text-based fantasy game Aeon. Aeon is a medieval fantasy world with swords and sorcery, dragons and monsters, that sort of thing. We also have a lot of herbs that are used for brewing potions, tinctures, salves, poisons, you name it. Now, something you do with herbs in real life and various other plant materials is you can make natural dyes. This is something that's done by humans for thousands of years. I've actually don't have a huge amount of experience dyeing, but I have been doing it for quite a while. My very first time I dyed something was actually using native black walnuts, the hulls and shells of which are notorious for staining skin and clothing, anything you touch a dark black color. And this piece of cloth here, I believe is a cotton or cotton blend, has taken on this nice beige color from being bathed in walnut hulls. This darker cloth on the inside, you can see, this is actually the color it is from the shells of the walnuts, which give you the darker brown. Now, nice thing about walnut, it has a lot of natural tannins, which help. You can use them in tan leather. They also help the colors stick to fabric very, very well. In modern times, you use a lot of chemical dyes, and they stick to fabrics very well. They don't fade very much. Natural plant dyes tend to be more fugitive, but even since ancient times, they have used different substances to help it adhere to fabric. These are called mordants. You soak the fabric beforehand in a mordant bath, and then you wring it out, rinse it out, and you put it through the actual dye bath. The substance we're going to be using today for our dye is powdered madder root, which you can easily obtain online. It's a Eurasian native that has been known as a red dye since ancient times. This is the red dye of the ages. We're talking Roman military tunics up through red coats. Dyes have made all kinds of stuff through the ages, though. You have ochre, natural mineral dyes. You can use nuts, berries, roots, leaves, delicate flowers, and you get a nice purple from the crushed up bodies of tiny snails. The mordants we're going to use today, or rather the mordant we're going to use today, is alum. I'll put a chemical formula down in the bottom there. Alum has been used for a long time for a lot of different things. Everything from pickling recipes to it's a skin conditioner and an astringent. Very famous for use in shaving. I actually have an alum block I use for shaving. I rub on my face after I shave, and it helps close up any nicks and scratches and soothe irritation. If that sounds weird, keep in mind it was only about 150 years ago women were still using arsenic to enhance their complexion by rubbing it in their skin. This is well after people knew that it was a deadly poison. So alum is going to be our mordant. We're also going to add some cream of tartar to the mordant bath. It's a bizarre byproduct of wine production. I don't entirely understand it, but it's all the recipes I've looked up, both in books and online, have called for alum and cream of tartar as the base ingredients for the mordant bath for madder root. So we're going to make a mordant bath first. 20% the weight of the fabric in alum, 10% the weight of the fabric in weight of cream of tartar. I'm going to be playing fast and loose with this because this is largely a test run here. But the various things I have to dye, I got some nice coarsely woven wool, some raw wool. It's been washed but not completely processed. It still has lanolin in it. I have some heavy cotton fabric. This is linen, which is made from flax stems, a very common fabric in medieval times. I also have this shirt. This used to be a white shirt I wore to church. It's faded to a gray color. Instead of pitching it, I'm going to see if I can dye it. It is only about 30%, 35% cotton. The rest is nylon. Natural fibers like cellulose and wool will take dyes of this nature better than artificial fibers. Oh, and we got some leather. Not sure how well that's going to work, but we're going to throw it in the mordant bath and see if I can make some red leather. Okay. Here's our various fibers in the Mordant bath. I'm sitting in it overnight for 2 days. Normally I'd just recommend doing one, but I have my reasons. I will note with a little bit of disgust that my supposedly stainless steel pot here is getting rust on it. When you're doing Mordant and dye baths, you're going to want to use a stainless steel pot or a ceramic coated pot, like one with enamel on it, because the metals can actually affect the color of the dye. So like a copper, aluminum, or cast iron pot you probably don't want to use unless you want to be more historically accurate or you want to change the color of the dye. So let me go ahead and empty this out in the sink really quick. Okay, our supposedly stainless steel pot here has been thoroughly rinsed and filled with cold water. I've added about 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces of the powdered madder root to a piece of ladies' hosiery. I'm just going to dunk this in here. Get it nice and thoroughly wet. And it's going to float. Alright, we're going to gently heat this up over the course of a little time. Okay, here's our dye bath after about 30 minutes of gentle heating and light squeezings of the bag. It's a little uncomfortable to the touch, but nowhere near boiling. Like I said, I don't want to boil it, it'll spoil the color. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Alright, you see that coloration, that ruddy color. Let's start putting our fabric in. Alright, we'll check on this in about an hour or so. Well, I really got involved in this a bit more than I originally intended. I ended up doing 3 batches of fabric in 2 different dye baths. So jumping right in. As you can see, you can keep using a dye bath over and over again until it's exhausted. You get lighter colors each time. Here's our cotton in the first bath and the second, original. Linen from the first bath, second and original. The wool being the most striking here is our first, second, and original. I didn't do any of the coarsely woven stuff in the second bath. I wish I had. Here's from the first bath. Here's the original color. Here's our nice dusky rose leather from the first bath, a little bit lighter from the second. We get the most striking colors, of course, from our animal fibers, this protein wool fibers. I also did a 3rd batch where I started with fresh madder root again, and a piece of white, tightly woven wool that I had. For Mordant, I used a styptic pen, which is, I don't know if you younger guys know what these are, but it's a white chalky pen. You can buy them by the shaving supplies and use them to stop bleeding really fast. The thing is, they're not 100% alum, they're only about 60%. They have some sort of inert ingredients. So I dissolved that in the Mordant bath along with some cream of tartar, and we got this shade. So I don't know if this is the quality of the wool, if this was a result of the inert materials in the styptic pen, but you get this nice deep coral color. I hope you guys enjoyed coming with me down this little journey into the world of natural dyes. It's an excursion I've taken before, definitely going to be doing it again in the future. Oh, you know what? I bet you guys are wondering how that shirt turned out. Let's have a look, shall we?
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.